Welcome to another episode in this series. I'm Chase. We will focus on basic call center metrics in this video. Here are the main topics we will talk about. What are the 5 main management functions in a call center? Different types of formulas to calculate service level. How to figure out agent utilization rates. There are 5 main management functions in a call center. A call center manager's day covers these 5 issues. There are many call center metrics you can use. These metrics reveal the performance of these 5 main functions of the call center. Now let's take a look at them all. Number 1, workforce and production management. You may be managing inbound or outbound calls in the call center, or your call center can only provide written communication responses. One of the most important tasks in the management of all the contact processes is workforce management. The most important task to successfully handle this management is accurate call forecasting. Workforce needs to be well calculated. You must create effective work schedules. The most important metric to monitor workforce and production management is called service level. Service level is the response rate of calls to the call center within the target time. The target time is called acceptable waiting time. The holding time should be an acceptable amount of time depending on the business and customer segment. This metric can be generated correctly only if the optimum time for each operation target is well determined. Service level is the ratio of the calls answered before the specified target time to the number of all incoming calls. This is the main formula for service level calculations, but not the only one. Different formulas can be used according to the operation objectives. The formula can be changed by dividing the answered calls within the target time by the total calls answered, not total calls received. But you should know the difference in change. Does it seem confusing? Let's give an example. You are a call center manager. You set the service level target as 80 divided by 20. In other words, you set the target of receiving 80% of the calls in 20 seconds. 100 customers called your call center today. 10 customers dropped off the line. 60 customers were answered within the targeted time you set. 30 customers were answered by waiting for more than 20 seconds. In this case, there are 100 incoming calls and 60 of them are answered within 20 seconds target. According to the result of the first formula, the service level is 60%. In the second formula, the answered calls within the target time should be divided by the total answered calls, not the total received calls. There are 10 abandoned calls. Then 60 calls are divided by 90 answered calls. According to the result of this formula, the service level becomes 66%. You need to determine well which formula to use for tracking this metric. Learn the math behind it and see the differences by simulating different days. In some service level formulas, fast abandonment calls can be omitted from the incoming call. So, if the customer hung up by waiting for 5 seconds, you can remove it from the target. Then your formula would be like this. After the service level is figured, it is followed by the success rate. This value can be calculated daily or monthly. The compliance rate of an operation that has achieved the service level target on 18 days of the month is calculated as 60%. If this situation is not periodic, we need more radical measures or updates on the target. By the same logic, looking at the compliance rate on the shift basis, it is important for capacity planning and the management of this value as well. Agent utilization rate is another metric used in call centers. The workforce in the call center is human labor. The call center manager should make sure that the staff uses time efficiently. Agent utilization rate is simply the ratio of work produced in the call center divided by work capacity. With this metric, call centers can evaluate the productivity of their workforce. If an agent works 6 hours in an 8-hour day, the agent utilization rate is 75%. The main formula is like this. The agents in a particular call center handling an average of 4,000 inbound calls per month. The average handle time is 1 minute per contact. These agents work an average of 20 days per month, and their workday is 7.5 hours after subtracting lunch and breaks. So let's put these numbers on the formula. We multiply 1 minute by 4,000 calls. Then we multiply 20 workdays by 7.5 hours per day and by 60. Finally, we divide 4,000 by 9,000, and as a result, we find that this agent works with 44% efficiency. By following the efficiency metric, capacity planning and cost can be managed. Another metric to monitor is adherence to schedule. It shows how compliantly the agents manage the time they spend at the login time. When commitment to the program is high, it means that the plan you have prepared is acted upon. This is how the adherence to schedule formula works. Another metric that the call center manager should track is repeat calls. Repeat call rate is the inverse of first call resolution, or FCR in short. It reflects the average number of calls in which questions or complaints received by the call center are resolved. Monitoring the repeat call rate increases customer satisfaction. On the other hand, it is important for the call center to plan workforce correctly. If you reduce repeat calls, you also decrease occupancy. You should monitor for repeat calls and strategize to reduce them. This can be accomplished in your operation through self-service options, process reviews, and agent trainings. We said at the beginning that there are 5 main management functions in a call center. The second function is the quality management. Number 2, quality management. Metrics related to quality management are customer survey scores, call quality performance, and net promoter score, or NPS in short. In addition, the complaint rates of the call center should be monitored. You can also use calibration to monitor the performance of the quality team. You can evaluate the same call with the quality specialist on different dates, or evaluate it with another quality specialist to determine the success rate. The difference between these two ratios is the calibration ratio. Number 3, tech management. Today's call centers are full of technology. From the moment the customer dials the call center, many different technologies come into play. The critical issue in every call center is the effective management of these technologies, including acquisition, implementation, and ongoing maintenance and management. Service interruptions and disruptions impact performance. As a call center manager, you must also manage the lines in technology management. The first goal is always to be accessible to the customer. If the customer receives a busy signal, it means that the call center is answering other calls or is out of service. If all phone lines are busy, no new calls can be received until the current one is over. You should manage this situation so that customers can easily reach the call center. Number 4, people and process management. People and process management is the most important factor that the call center manager must overcome. It contains several areas. The metrics that can be monitored in this management area are employee satisfaction and engagement rates, turnover, employee experience, knowledge level exams, internal communication surveys. Number 5, financial management. The 5th and last area is the financial management. You have to incur a number of costs when you are operating a call center. Every decision you take means money. The cost per call method is the most used for financial management. You can also track the entire cost in terms of time or total number of contacts. For example, if you want to know the cost incurred in the call center in 1 hour, add up the monthly payments and divide this total by the number of hours your call center serves in the month. This was our 8th episode. If you missed one of our previous ones, please go and check them now.